few days ago, come after the Irish. Now we're laughing, but it's absurd. Is that the kind of decider-in-chief you want? I don't think so. The guy got caught red-handed saying something that wasn't accurate. But we all make mistakes. And it's not a lie unless you know it's not true when you say it. Now, when I was a kid and I got caught with my hand in a cookie jar, I sort of turned red, shrugged my shoulders, take my hand out of the cookie. He's grabbing for more cookies. I like Barack Obama as decider-in-chief better. But far more important, and what the president will talk about today, is that his plan for the future is better. And his budget to pay for it and to pay our debt down is better. His plan for the future essentially is to invest in 21st century jobs, in modern infrastructure, in information technology, in clean energy, in manufacturing, in the kind of agriculture that will enable us to feed America, sustain the environment, and feed a growing world. And to educate and empower people to do those jobs, including maintaining and improving the Affordable Care Act, which will give 30 million people, many of them with pre-existing conditions, insurance for the first time next year. And which, much to the chagrin of its opponents, has just given us 2 years with health inflation at 4% or less for the first time in 51 years. The student loan program will allow students for the first time ever to borrow money at low cost from the federal government and pay it back as a low fixed percentage of income for up to 20 years. This means nobody will ever have to drop out of college again because they're afraid to borrow money or they're afraid to pay it back. And he's offered us a budget based on arithmetic. It has $2 of spending cuts for every $1 of revenue increases. All the money to come from people like me. I love saying this. I never had a nickel before I left Hawaii. Don't forget, in the decade before the crash, 90% of the gains went to the top 10%, 43% to the top 1%, and we also got most of the tax cuts. All we're being asked to do is to kick back in a little money by paying what we paid when I was president. And upper income people did just fine. But it was the only time in the last 30 years that every quintile, that is the bottom 20%, the 40%, the 60%, 80%, in percentage terms, your income went up just as much as the top 20%. You were really growing. That's what President Obama wants to do. Now, if you look at Obama, he says, no, we need to do what we did under President Bush. We need to have a big tax cut for high-income people, and we need to cut all these investments, and cut all this education, and repeal the student loan law, make college loans more expensive, and increase the dropout rate. That's their proposal. And we need to cut the Medicaid program by a third. Just help poor kids, most of them are working families. Oh, and it does help Medicare seniors who are living in nursing homes. And it does help middle-class families with children with disabilities, with autistic conditions, and cerebral palsy and developmental disabilities, whose parents could not even work if they were not helped to meet their children's exceptional calls. He wants to cut all that to give me another tax cut. And you say, well, we don't think the numbers add up. Because even if you make up for this $5 trillion, then you want to cut taxes. Or the $2.5 trillion you want to spend, President Obama doesn't. Even if you can do that, you still have to reduce the deficit 1%. So give us a budget. You know, you're the finance guy. And he said, see me about that after the election. See me about that. It's always see me about that after the election. When I was a kid growing up in Hot Springs, Arkansas, we had a great guy who had a bar for school day so the kids can come in and have sandwiches. But otherwise, he had one sign on the bar that said Wendy's, free beer tomorrow. And he had a deal with the electric company that they never saw the sign on. So I was in there one day, and this guy came in and said, "How many? I came in yesterday and had a beer. I'd like my free beer now." He said, "Go out and read the sign." Tomorrow never came. So when a politician tells me, "See me about that after the election," it makes me know there's something ugly in there and they don't want me to see. My president is not afraid for you to see his budget or his plans or his commitments, and they are better. We should elect Barack Obama. This will tell you all you need to know about this election. Governor Robbie says if he is elected, people will be so elated. I mean, it's serious that the economy will produce 12 million jobs in the next 2 years. Now, I am sure it's just a coincidence. Or maybe he forgot. Because as President Obama has told us, there's this great public health epidemic, this virus sweeping across America, causing a condition known as amnesia. And the virus is so rampant that anybody's vulnerable to get the little of it. So maybe he just caught a little piece of amnesia. But what he forgot to tell you was this: just a few days before that 12 million jobs promise was made, an independent business forecaster, Moody's Analytics, said to all of us that we will get 12 million jobs in the next 4 years if we just don't mess up what the president has already done. Because I want us to go together, not apart. Because he's been a good commander-in-chief, a good decider-in-chief, a proven cooperator. Because he got better plans for the future. Because you and your children and our country will be better off, I strongly recommend that we re-elect the next President of the United States, our current President of the United States, our President, Barack Obama.
Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. And I'm so grateful to both of them. I also want you to give it up for your outstanding Governor, John Lynch. And one of the best senators in Washington, our friend Jean Shaheen. I love you, man. Folks in New Hampshire are tough. They are tough. Now, for the past several days, I was told us those folks whose lives have been upended and their lives have been rebuilt, we will be with them every step of the way. I don't see it. And that's the interesting thing is, despite our heartbreak, we've also been inspired these past few years. We see our first responders, our police officers, our firefighters, EMS folks, running into buildings, wading through water, helping their fellow citizens. We see neighbors helping neighbors cope with tragedy. Leaders of different parties working to fix what's broken. A spirit that says no matter how bad a storm is, no matter how tough the times are, we're all in this together. We rise and fall as one nation and as one people. And that spirit, New Hampshire, has guided this country along its improbable journey for more than 2 centuries. It's that spirit that carried us through the trials and tribulations of these last 4 years. In 2008, we were in the middle of 2 wars, the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression. Today, our businesses have created nearly 5.5 million new jobs. The American auto industry is back on top. Home values are on the rise. We're less dependent on foreign oil than any time in 20 years. Because of the service and sacrifice of our brave men and women in uniform, a whole lot of them from here in New Hampshire, the war in Iraq is over. The war in Afghanistan is coming to a close. Al-Qaeda is on the run. Osama bin Laden is dead. We made real progress these past 4 years, but New Hampshire, we're here because we know we've got more work to do. As long as there's a single American who wants a job but can't find one, our work is not yet done. As long as there are families who are working harder and harder but still falling behind, our work is not yet done. As long as there is a child, anyone in New Hampshire, anyone in this country, who's languishing in poverty and barred from opportunity, our fight has to go on. Our fight has to go on. Our fight goes on because we know this nation can't succeed without a growing, thriving middle class. Our fight goes on because America's always done best when everybody gets a fair shot. Everybody's doing their fair share. And everybody's playing by the same rules. That's what we believe. That's why you were like to Bill Clinton in '92. That's why you were like to me in 2008. And that's why